Hello, today is show and tell day. Now, I don't want to say every Tuesday is going to be show and tell day. Some people do that. They have Monday Timu Day and Monday and Tuesday, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to get stuck into a regular thing. But this is show and tell day. This is what I'm showing you. This quilt that my mother gave me before she died. It is really, really old. It was probably in the 1900s made, and I don't know if anybody quilt makers know what this pattern is called, because every quilt has a certain pattern name. Then maybe you could tell me what it is, because I don't know what it's called. I know my grandma had a wedding ring quilt, but I don't think this is a wedding ring, because I thought the wedding ring one was rounded pieces. But anybody who knows anything about sewing, look at all of these little pieces they cut out. And not only did they quilt it, but they had to sew all of these together first and then quilt it. It must have taken hours and hours. Now, sometimes they used old fabrics, old clothes to make their quilts, but none of these fabrics look worn out. And look at the back side. I just put it on this bed to show you. This is a guest room. Look it has more stitching, hand stitching, than it does fabric. It will never come apart. But I don't think there's a bat in it. Look how narrow, how thin it is. I need a quilt person, an expert, to tell me about it. And this is bias tape on here, but they made it themselves. They didn't buy bias tape. I'll never use it, and I store it in this suitcase here, and I put it in a safe place. If the house catches on fire, this is what I will grab first or second. But I just am thrilled to have it, and I never have got to take it to any place to show it. So I'm wishing the church would have a quilt day or something, or something kind of antique day I could take it. Show and tell day, but they don't ever have. Why don't they have show and tell at church? We could take show and tell things we made, and other people could, and be fun. All right. So, any quilters out there, give me some information if you know anything about this kind of quilt. I'm a sewer, but I'm not necessarily a quilter. Sorry, I got my fingers in that. All right. I have some notes here because I forget. I'm going to tell you about that next. You can look at it while I'm talking. I want to thank all my subscribers and people who have gotten subscribers for me. I have 717 this morning, and I did really good the first week of January, getting, from 500 to 700. There's probably not anybody else in the world out there who'd want to hear me, so I don't know if I'm going to get any more. So I'm thinking about printing up business cards and putting them all over town to watch me, but then people in town would know me, and I might be embarrassed to see them. Would I be embarrassed if they saw me and go, "Oh, we saw your front butt. We know what your bathroom looks like. We know what you do and what you shop and what you buy." Maybe I don't want my people in the community knowing that about me. I don't know. But anyway, how many people are in the world? There's a lot. So 717 isn't that much compared to the world. Some of those people get thousands of views. Oh, how do you get views? I don't know. I need to film better. They say to have better video content and quality. I think my quality is down. So I'm going to try to be better. Quality. All right. And now I want to thank also Haulin' It All with Mimi. Sorry, I had to write it down and my writing's horrible. I want to thank her because I know she got me a lot of subscribers because she gave me a shout out on her channel, and she's such a pretty lady, blonde hair, and I watch her and I just think we could be best friends, but she lives far from me. But anyway, I want to thank her, and I saw Simply Jessica. She has a YouTube channel too, and she did it. She commented on my things, and I want to thank her and Mrs. B, whoever Mrs. B is. She really comments and watches everything. I think she's been there from day one. And she's not a relative. So I want to thank her. And she's taught me some things and pointed out things. And I like her. So thanks, Mrs. B, for watching. And there's a lot of many other ones I could name, but I just can't name them all because, friends with the friendless people aren't too dependable or reliable because sometimes they're a little flaky. They don't get back to you. They don't remember you, and they might have a mental, what would it be called? They just don't remember. Okay. So I try to remember, but it might be age. I did not have COVID. I don't have COVID brain. Anyway, this is the room. I say anyway a lot, but I don't say y'all. I notice people from the South, they say y'all all the time. We don't say that in Wyoming, but we might say anyways. Anyways. They always have an S on the end of anyway. It doesn't have an S on it. It's anyway. And across does not have a T on the end of it. You don't go across to the street. It's across. Those are my only two grammar things. Oh, and the other one, it bugs me, is seen. I seen him coming. How about you saw him coming? That's all I know for grammar. So, all right, I won't talk about that anymore because I might be hurting somebody's feelings. This is my guest room. When my sister comes to stay, she stays in this room. When my grandsons live with me, this is the room they stay in. And see that door right there? That's the bathroom. Goes into the bathroom. And then there's another door that goes out to the hall. And then another door that goes out to the hot tub out there. Maybe I should just show you. Do you want to see? And then in this room is the microwave and refrigerator. These are my old ones, and I put them in here because they still worked. I just got upgraded. My husband, I don't think he knew what else to buy me for Christmas one year, so he bought me a new refrigerator, and it has a freezer in it for my bedroom, so that was lucky. The TV's not too large, but the room's not too big, and the closet, and I even have that little fireplace down there. And then look out here today is a snowy, snowy day. So it's a good day to video. And then right here, that's the quilt that goes on this bed. But my grandson moved out, so I had to wash the sheets. We're going to talk about this dress, so stay tuned. But look what I noticed over here. Somebody put a sticker on the lamp. That was naughty. Stop wrecking my house. Grandkids are always wrecking my stuff. Okay, you go in here. Sorry, I threw all the pillows here that go on that bed. And here's the bathroom for this bedroom and for the hot tub people. And here's another thing I could show you. I crocheted these rugs. I made one for my daughter. And you buy old sheets like at Goodwill and stuff. And then you just crochet with the big old crochet hook. Looks like that needs to be stitched. And so anyway, this is the bathroom that the people get to use who are in here. And then here's this door. And it goes out here. You'll hear my husband's TV. And then I've shown you this room before, out to the hot tub with my husband's plants. And look right here. He's growing something new, his hobby. Daphnia or something, I don't know, duckweed. I don't know what he's growing. But it's his house too, so I let him. And here's the avocado tree. You can see my gazebo out there. And here's all the plants growing down there. I haven't looked at it today. It's probably dirty. I didn't clean before I came out here, sorry. And these are the canna lilies that grow. In California, they grow outside. And then here's the fish down here, the koi. See if I can zoom down, see him? He's fed, and that floating stuff is that duckweed or something. I don't know what it is. It's his hobby, not mine. I have my hobbies, he has his. So, this is where I have to live in this menagerie. And then out here, never showed it. I did show where the dead flies were. They die. This is my husband's growing stuff. They die in this corner right here. I don't know why. They get trapped, I guess. But out here is his greenhouse. But he stores things in there in the winter. But in the summer, spring, he starts growing his plants in there. And so, another canna lily. The children have toys for the hot tub and swimsuits and towels. It's a community place. And look, my husband's ready to water. And this was, oh, I have to show you this. This was his mother's plant. Look how beautiful. And it's still alive. She'll be happy to know that. We kept it alive. And in here, I don't know if I ever showed you in here. Do you care? This is our family room. Somebody plugged in my Christmas tree lights. This is the family room. We don't use it up here much unless the grandkids come up here and have parties and stuff. And here's his big deer. You can't see it with lighting. And I used to sell girls' dresses. And I was called the dress lady. And here are my leftover dresses. Not very many left. And that, my grandson left it, broken light. I have a vacuum in every place, so I don't have to carry him around. And the pool table that I've never played a game of pool after 20 years. Well, I did try once. And you have to hit him hard. And then the problem was, my husband said, he did one shot and then he said, I won. I said, how could I win? I didn't even shoot yet because he shot the black one in the hole or something. I don't know. I didn't like the game much, so I never played. We bought it because the family could enjoy it. And then I picked out this light because I thought it was perfect over the table. But it's not centered. The electrician needed to put it up a little higher. Can't change it now. And here's his bear that he shot, that he would love to tell the story, how he, hey, look, if I do this for a thumbnail, people will, the men will watch it then. It'll attract the men. For his bear story, it was attacking his son, going to eat his son, and he shot it. And then his moose, which is another great story, how the moose, he shot it and it ran into the Cottonwood Lake and he had to go get home and get his boat and come back and get it out of the lake. And then remember the old days when you had all the VCR tapes and the computer set up and everything? This is it. We never use it anymore. And his mother painted that painting. She was a good paintist. I don't know if they're called paintists. I think they're called artists. And so this is the family room. And we've had big crowds sleep in here on these hide-a-bed couches, and they come all lay on the floor. And then over here, I don't know why I'm showing you this too. This began as the playroom. You can tell they've been playing in here. And I got this sheet thing from Temu. I just leave it on there all the time. And the kids can just get their blankets and lay on there and sleep. And then they didn't put the blankets away though. And somebody left their clothes right there. And talk about dead flies in these windows, dead flies that I have to vacuum out all the time. Which I don't come over here much. Unless somebody's coming, then I clean it. It's swim trunks. That's hot tub stuff. Anyway, there's a view of down below there, my pool and stuff. And then my husband wanted me to show you my wall mural I painted. And the other grandson left his weight bench here. I painted this scene in here, but you can't see it because it has a bed in here now. But what it was, I had terrible grammar. And I painted a little bird, and I painted all this, but then I never finished it, the ceiling. I wanted to finish the ceiling. But it's supposed to be the outdoor scene. I told somebody to bring the pumpkins and store them in the closet. They put them there, hiding them. And it's supposed to be an outdoor scene. There's another house there. And there's my old treadle sewing machine. Somebody wants me to show them how to work it. I will someday when I'm really bored. We sure have a lot of pillows up here. It's because they make beds on the hide-a-bed out there. And there, I made a trunk in this corner. You can't see it. I'm not going to move the bed out so you can see the whole thing. And these are those beanbag chairs that can make into a bed or a chair. I have 2 of them. They're pretty good for these grandkids. All right, so what I was going for was, this was the house. See that door? It's a storage closet. I was making this be a house, and they would live in there, and that would be their playhouse. And then they would come out here into the yard where all the toys, were and stuff. So when I first moved in, this was what it was designed to be. But the grandkids did not want to play in this room. They wanted to just be where we were. So then they would just drag all their toys out. This is how I decorate for Christmas, with this minky blanket. And look, somebody left their socks, and they eat in here, and they leave messes. And now I'm not perfect. I'm never perfect. But if you were coming, I would clean up. Here, I'll show you where I store my air conditioner in the window. In the winter, I just put it down here. And then in the summer, I just lift it up. Good idea, huh? And see that carport out there? That's where my camper RV is. He made that carport and the other side has the trailer. And here's the solar heater for my pool. My husband, inventor, made a solar heater. So we have to put it like this because it can't get snowed on and all the weight of the snow for the winter. Anyway, my life. This is my life. You're getting to know every part of me. Some people say you're not supposed to let the people know all about yourself. Well, then why are you doing it? And this is my 9-foot Christmas tree. And I just leave it set up in here all the time because it matches the motif of, I don't have the lights on all the time, but the motif of the animals and the bear and the moose. They need a tree. So I just leave it in here set up. And then I even leave the lights on. So then at Christmas time, I just turn the lights on. But when the lights are off, you can't tell there's lights on the tree. It just looks like a green tree growing. Yeah, it's alive. Tree. So this started out to be, it was all going to be closet storage. That's why that was the window that was going out. And when we were building, I told my husband, wait, instead of a closet, why can't we have that be a room, a playroom for all the grandkids? But that didn't work out. And now the grandkids have outgrown it too. So they just like to bring their friends over and have parties up here with the pool. And look, somebody left a mess here. Swimming trunks and popcorn. Oh, that was great. Look, this was right by the heater. All right, and they left the heater on in here. We don't heat up here because nobody's up here. And we don't use this room. And if you're over here, you can't hear anything that's going on in the house. It's like you're in a different world. So if you want to hide out, just come over there. Okay. I didn't know I was going to show you all that. If I would have known, I would have tidied up. And then here's my husband's office. And it's not very tidy either. Einstein, his favorite person. And it is the office. It used to have a piano right here, but we never played it. I gave the piano to my daughter, and I'm glad I did because, and look it, my husband has all those old encyclopedias and everything. I'm getting rid of those the first chance I get. All right. I'll come in back in this way. The balcony. Banana plant. The little grandchildren playhouses. And this is a big storage closet. All right. And then we come back in here. Oh, if you didn't want to see all that, I should have told you ahead of time. Just fast forward it so you wouldn't have to see all that. But some people wonder what the house looks like, don't you? I do. And then one person told me that they like long videos. I'm always thinking they want me to hurry, hurry, hurry. So this will be a longer video. All right, the dress. Back to the dress. Beautiful dress. So, and then these shoes, it wasn't even planned because my husband's mother did not know that I had this dress. And before she died, she gave me these shoes because I admired them. She had a lot of antiques. And she even gave us the buttonhole, the silver buttonhole thing that you'd fasten these with. And, oh, those pillows over there. Sorry. I'm going to make the bed and they aren't always there. You don't have to climb over the pillows to get to the bathroom. But she gave me the shoes, and guess what? They're even my size. But I have never tried them on, and I don't know how old they are. But they match the dress, don't you think? All right. Stay up there. Nope, they're falling. Anyway, I didn't know the mother very long when I married Jamie, but she was very nice and smart, and she gave me those. So she must have thought that I was worth it and was going to stick around. Okay, back to the dress. All right, the buttons. We're going to look at it thoroughly together. All right, there's 2 darts here, 1 dart, 2 darts. Most nowadays, they just put 1 dart in. All right, and the buttons are really strange because it's like they didn't sew them on. I'm going to show you. This is my mannequin, my sewing mannequin. I used to sew, and I made all these, for a restaurant, I made all the uniforms for the waitresses. And so this mannequin dress form came in so handy. I'm doing this with one hand because they gave me their measurements and then I could just sew their uniform to fit them with this mannequin here. All right, here it is. Look at the inside. The buttonholes are all handmade, but the dress is not handmade. It is a sewing machine, although there is hand stitching. Not very good hand stitching. That was probably just basting it down. And it has a slip. There's 2 pieces here. And it has this lining stuff, but it's not really lined. They should have made 2 of them and lined it. And there's no interfacing to make this stiffer in it, which I would have done. But maybe they just didn't have any. And look over here, how they sewed the button. They did not sew the buttons on. It is like they put this piece of reinforcement twill tape here, and then they just had this metal piece that they put around there. It's weird. And then, look, this is just a raw edge, the selvage. And that's kind of weird because you would think they would fold it over like this side. So, I like it. And then this ruffle, and they gathered it here, and then they had to stitch it down. Now the lace has seen better years, and they stitched the lace on by hand. And it's falling apart. I could repair it, but how much do you repair antiques? And look at a hole there, and then sweat stains. I don't want to smell it. Don't ask me to smell it. But you could get DNA. Couldn't you get DNA from that, maybe? I'm not paying. But then, this is just the shadow of my camera, but it does have dirt spots here and here. I'm not washing it. Look, a rip here. They're ripping out at the seams, here and here. Let's see how big a seams it has. Well, the side seam is, adequate. I don't know why it ripped out. This is sewn by hand here. And the bustle, I have to look on TV to see what they put under here. But now I'm going to show you the back, how it's made. because it's kind of weird. Look, they don't have any buttonholes back here for the slip and the skirt. They didn't put anything. But you can tell there was somebody's been safety pinning. There's all those puncture holes on both sides. Now, I wouldn't want a dress I have to safety pin every time I'm wearing it. Here's the inside. Basting stitches. And then this, look right here, is ripped down because they didn't do that right. And this is basted down here. It's not permanently sewed over. But we don't know what they had. It's not gathers. These are pleats. And down here is pleats. Right here, these are pleats. And then this is gathered here and gathered with that same look. And it is lined. The skirt is lined. It's heavy. So why didn't they use this fabric in the top part too, I wonder? They didn't have enough, maybe. I hope somebody someday isn't going to critique my sewing and find out all the flaws that I did. Because sometimes, you know, you do a really good job on something, and other times it's not that important and you're just hurrying it. But I think back then their clothes were important. I heard one thing that they spent so much time on their clothes because they didn't have very many of them, and they had to mend them, and they had to wash them by hand, and they spent iron them. They spent so much time on their clothing, more time than we do nowadays. So I wonder if these kind of shoes would go with it. I think they would in that same era. These are good, not any buttons missing. All right, now the next thing I'm going to show you. It's not over yet, so don't be leaving. I know you want to go eat or something, but we're not done yet. And this is a paint by number I painted. I was into that one time, and I liked paint by numbering, but I should have painted myself. I mean, you know, my own paintings. Okay, look. This is leather. Do you know what it is? This was my ex-husband's, my daughter's dad. And look at it. Isn't it beautiful? It is painted on glass kind of picture. And it's really old antique. Look, that little speck is on the inside. I can't take it apart and clean that. And these were if anybody's from the San Joaquin Valley, these were the Blossers. And there's a Blosser museum down there. I know. Somewhere in I don't know. Can't remember the town. But this was his ancestors. And he had a bunch of them. But I just took one, ended up with one of them. I should have taken all of them for my daughters. At least two of them so they'd each get one. Because, you know, they're probably worth $20 now. No, I don't know how much. So it's all leather. I heard that if you have a picture like this and there's Civil War people, then it's worth buco bucks. But the things are broken right here. They had little latches that come around and they're broken. But these are my antiques, my treadle sewing machine. That's all I have. So if the house caught on fire, I should put all these things together so then I could just get one thing and run with them. So anyway, what am I going to do today? The rest of the day, I have lots to do. And oh look, somebody's prepared for flies there. And I want to thank you guys and subscribe and like. And I'm going to show you some more things that I have. I have a lot of things I want to show you. So stay tuned because, you know, you might be interested. Or Jamie always, my husband, is like, they don't care.